What is up, guys? My name is MipZ and welcome back for yet another League of Legends video. So today we are playing in none other than the guy that yeah, you could say that he kind of doesn't believe in the clock because he thinks it's second-hand information. Hit it. Second. Okay, that was really bad. Anyway, today we are of course playing Ekko. Like, this guy, he can control kind of, you could say he can control time, and he's really awesome. He's super fun to play, and he's actually an extremely high skill cap champ, so something that you can really always improve on. And the cool thing about Ekko is that he's one of those champs that has a lot of different play styles. We'll talk a bit more about this a bit later in the video, but first of all, let's just get out of the way what we're gonna do in this video. And this video will only focus on how to play him in terms of macro play, meaning the early, mid, and late game, and kind of the decision making of playing him. I will not be going into the details with his abilities. Instead, I've left a link down below for my other video where I only explain abilities, combos, mechanics, and all of this fuss. Anyway, let's get just right into this one. Just one slight note before: if you do enjoy this one, then make sure to go down below, click that like button, and also if you're not already a part of our community, then make sure to subscribe down below, click that button. And of course, if you want to see me live, go to twitch.tv/MipZ_live. I stream every single Friday. Anyway, as we get into this one, then we are playing against a Karthus, and Karthus can be kind of an annoying matchup because this guy really wants to poke as much as he possibly can. So we want to play a bit safe here in the early game. We can look for something like a level 2 or level 3 engage, because we do have a big power spike at level 2. We actually at level 2, Ekko can beat quite a lot of comps because he gets this gap close that allows him to jump onto his target, and because of his passive getting these 3 stacks that deals immense amount of damage, then he is actually going to be able to pretty much trade out most other champs, which is pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna try and focus a little bit on getting my farm here as well, such that we don't fall behind. But as you can see, Karthus is just looking for as much poke as possible. And what we can do, especially the thing with Ekko, is that he has kind of different matchups in terms of how you want to play him. Like, a lot of champs are either slow-paced or fast-paced champions, but Ekko is kind of a bit of both. He can do both things, and this is exactly what you want to make sure that you exploit, that he can change his playstyle so quickly, and he can go on the aggressive. He can both play a defensive champ, but he can also play a very aggressive one. His power spikes are insanely big once you get around level 6. It really helps out a lot because his ult is absolutely amazing. It allows you to tower dive fairly easy, and it's increases his potential for roams, that even if the enemy is pushed up under their turret, like, then Ekko is able to go tower dive them. And this is actually something you especially see on the Korean servers, that they are very, very fond of playing Ekko in a way where they literally just play for roams and go down and try to dive their enemies, which is super effective, by the way. But there are a lot of different playstyles on Ekko, and this is also one of the things that, if you look at pros playing him, you will see that they kind of have each their own interpretation of him. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to try to the best of my ability to kind of give you guys some pointers. I'm going to try and see if I can get up here in time. I'm a little late because I was actually a little busy explaining, but I'll try and see if I can make sure I get up here. If I can get close, then I should be able to actually win this, maybe. It's gonna get a little too close here. I'm not gonna be going under this turret. I will back out. All right. Okay, this was actually my bad, because I could have gotten there in time if I had been looking at my map, but we were kind of just in the middle of something. Anyway, I will not make this mistake again. I'll make sure that we focus out a little bit more on the actual game. But a few things that I just want to talk about before we get too much into how you actually do want to play this guy. Then I want to talk a little bit about his pros and cons of Ekko, because it means quite a lot that you know how, like, what are his strengths and what is his weaknesses, because this actually, just like any other champ, this has a lot to say in terms of when you want to pick him and kind of the capabilities and the stuff that you have to work with. So in terms of can we go for no? Okay. In terms of his strength, then he is a very mobile champ. He's a very highly bursty champ. He has strong CC. His ultimate is actually like ultimate. It is insane. It is so freaking good. So do not underestimate this ability at all. It is absolutely insane, and especially even for newer players. It's something where you'll see like really good Ekko players utilizing their ult in a way where they deal good damage with it, and they do insane dives and all this stuff. But for newer players getting into Ekko, then it's also really good because it's a forgiving spell that allows you to learn the rest of his kit. And this is kind of cool that you can actually utilize his kit in a way where you can kind of utilize it depending on where you are skill wise with Ekko. And this is one of the things that are so freaking cool with him. Like, generally speaking, I would say that yes, Ekko is not the easiest champ to play. He definitely isn't. But he's not a champ either that as a new player I would say, well, don't play him at all. He's way too hard. But he is fairly hard, and there is some skill shots in terms of just in timing, in terms of using his W, etc. But at the end of the day, then a lot of his stuff is also kind of like it has a lot of potential, and you'll learn a lot from using his kit. All right, so we'll back out from this. Just want to poke this guy a little bit. We'll put down a new ward. See Hecarim coming up, and I'm just going to be backing fully out. Okay, so a few things that you do want to think about when playing Ekko, and something I really personally like to do is that Ekko is super good at actually assassinating his targets. What a lot of people don't realize is that Ekko is actually sort of an assassin. He's more of an assassin than he's a mage, in my opinion. And this means that you can actually use stuff like bushes, etc. to ambush your enemies, and use the fact that they won't be able to see your parallel convergence because you're inside the bush. So really using these things to your advantage can be extremely good. All right, so right here, we're just gonna be pushing this out a little bit. And I think what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna start looking for roams, because right now, Karthus is just not in the lane at all. And there's not much we can do to him at this point. I know this bush right here is warded, and I don't know where their Hecarim is right now. So we gotta be a little careful with what we do here. But pretty soon we will have good enough items such that we can one-shot the backline here, which is definitely going to help us out. So we're going to be taking this farm. I'm going to start looking for roams if possible. Let's see, how's stuff going up here? I think maybe going for something in top side. Nah, you know what? No, because he's 0-2 and I'm not going to be able to take this guy 1v1. And I don't know where Hecarim is. I have a feeling right now that Hecarim is top side. So this is something. Nope. Okay, he's right here. So we're going to be backing out. We're just going to take as much CS as we can. I'm not going to risk anything. And yeah, now see Alistar coming in here. But this is definitely warded. Like, they know. They literally know. So nothing is going to happen in here. At least we shouldn't force an engage. Because if they go into an engage with us now, then that's solely because they have backup. They have more people here. Or they're completely just playing very, very, like, bad. Alright, so we'll back out from this one. No point taking this fight. We see that Rumble is actually fighting up here. If I can be the first person to go here. I have 4 seconds on my W. This guy's moving up through the bush. I'm trying to find a way where we can kind of do something here. This is not a good fight. We'll be backing out. I will be able to just back out this way. There we go. We almost killed Karthus. I just wanted to see how much we could do right there. Maybe we'll be able to get him low enough for Yi to literally just turn it if he was sitting on his ult, which he's not. So yeah, it doesn't really matter because I need it back very, very soon. So this is not going to be too much of a loss using our ult there. We also got him fairly low, which means that we kind of forced Karthus also to be looking for a back. So I'm going to be taking the next wave, and then we'll back off, and we'll actually have a really, really good back at that point. Our issue right now is that we don't have a lot of mana. If we did, we could actually go for an all-in on this guy. with an EQ combo, because that would most likely be enough to kill him, especially seeing as we're running Ignite. So I do believe so. But right now, like as you can see, this costs 45 mana, this one's 80. So we're kind of short off getting it. And he's going to be backing out now. So I'm going to be holding on to my Q for just a moment, because I want to hit the new wave that's coming in, so we can clear this off as quickly as possible. There we go. All right, so let's get this farm and then we'll be backing off. And the cool thing is now we're starting to reach a point where we're really going to become a lot stronger. In terms of playing Ekko in the early game, then as I talked about, there are kind of different playstyles. There's first of all the very aggressive playstyle that's very good against some champs. This is extremely good versus champs with low cooldown as an example, or long cooldowns as an example. Let's say that you're playing against something like a Vel'Koz or something like an Asir or something else that really wants to poke you, but once they use their abilities, they're kind of on a longer cooldown, because you have a very short cooldown on your E and your Q. So what you can do is actually every time they use their abilities, then you can be going for some poke on them. So you just go in for an EQ and you keep trading as soon as they're off cooldown or as soon as they miss their abilities. This is extremely good, and something that a lot of Ekko players don't utilize is don't think just about your own abilities. Look at what you're playing against, how long are their cooldowns, and then try and kind of utilize that to your advantage. Okay, so these engages right now are not something that I'm super fond of. All right, so right here we are going to be going for a good engage. I'm going to be running around this thing. Should be enough to give us a kill fairly easy. So as you guys can see, we've been doing this game so far. I have not played this perfectly at all. My farm is absolutely horrible. But what I've been doing is I've been looking for the right time to engage. I haven't just been mindlessly engaging. I've been like, okay, now I'm looking for a point in time where I feel 100% confident that I will win the fight, and I don't think he's going to get any backup. So we'll take this, and now I'm going to start trying to snowball. I'm going to try and help the other lanes to the best of my ability. So I'm going to start to run down here. I'm actually going to go through the river just because Hecarim is here. I don't know if they have vision, and I want to be a little careful. So we're 4 people here now. We have a control ward, so we can potentially utilize this. So as we're standing here, then in a moment we are going to be able to... So right here, I'm going to be looking for my Mira to... Oh, that was actually terrible. I wanted my Mira to be right here, and I actually missed it because I was only there for a very, very short amount of time. So I'm going to be backing out. So I played this very terrible. My ult there was absolutely horrible. But what I could have done and what I should have done... I don't have my ult here, but potentially we could go for a dive if my team is up for it. I'm gonna pop my W just so my team knows. Oh crap. Okay, that was a bit of a... Okay, I'm dead here. I messed up hard. Gonna try and slow him off. Okay, no backup is coming. I'm gonna completely take blame for that one. That was a very greedy play, and using the flash there, just literally just jumped into that. I was really, really bad. But yeah, as I've said before, these videos are not made to show you guys absolutely perfect gameplay, because yeah, that's rarely gonna happen. Instead, hopefully it's gonna be a bit entertaining, and still you're gonna be able to learn a thing or two. But yeah, as you guys could see here, like going in there without ult was kind of greedy, especially if my team does not intend to follow up. And going for that engage, let's be real, there's not really much point of it. We already had pressure on turret, so this was kind of easy for us already. All right, so there's no point going for that. They are definitely gonna go Drake here. There's not that much I can do before the rest of our team, or at least a few players, start coming up. So we're gonna actually just go down. We're gonna push this wave forward, and then we're gonna be ready for whenever our team is here. So okay, maybe we have vision on 3 players, meaning that at pure maximum there could be 2 down here. So it doesn't seem like they're going Drake. I'm gonna be putting up a control ward. They do have one already, and I do want to remove it, but I'm also slightly scared of actually getting caught in the middle. All right, so we're gonna just take that quick trade, back out, back in. Right here, I'm holding on to my ability. Whoop. Okay. So right here again, we kind of... I don't really know what happened to Jin and why he wasn't there. And I should have noticed this for sure. Anyways, okay, so my general idea here and what I should have done, because there's a few things that I actually did very poorly in this engage. I don't want to be going for Hecarim. He's the hardest target for me to take down. I want to be going for any other target. So first of all, I shouldn't be going for that one. I just, for a second, thought, okay, maybe we can beat that guy down super quickly, and we'll kind of go for that. But yeah, for sure, that did not happen. And I also thought that we did have or Jin coming up there. I didn't really see if he died or what happened. So yeah, that makes things a little more difficult, seeing as we were getting outnumbered. Kais is even asking, okay, so he's having some internet issues. I guess that happens to us all. But yeah, I guess that's kind of out of anybody's control. It happens to the best of us. All right, so in terms of this, and then right here, Karthus is kind of just looking to poke a little bit, and we'll be a little careful because honestly, not really feeling the poke. If he overextends, then we will definitely take care of it or kind of punish him for it. So in terms of 1v1 potential right now, we're a lot stronger than Karthus is. We want to make sure that we kind of utilize this. And he's very, very scared of us at this point. So let's start running down bot side. See if we can find something. We see that Hecarim is here. Hecarim is moving down here. If I can run with him, then we are going to be able to turn a potential poor situation into a good one. Okay, no. I don't think there's any point doing so right here. But what I can do is I can wait in this bush for a second. I'm pretty sure they don't have vision here. Even though Hecarim was just here, I don't think they have. Because you can see the pathing of which Karthus is doing. I don't think so. You can just see right here. It's just a absolute free kill. I'm gonna try and get my... Oh, no, so close. We almost had the shield. Very, very, very close. I should have casted just a split second before, and it would have landed. But yeah, that happens. Whatever. All right. So in terms of these general things, then when you are playing Ekko, then what you want to be looking for, like style wise, is you want to look to try and roam if you cannot 1v1. Like most times, then roaming on Ekko is actually going to be a lot better than just trying to play out the lane. If you do get a hit in the lane, or you're playing against something that you can beat, Ekko can beat quite a lot of things if played right. Like let's say like these long CD poke champs, then very often what you can do is you can just look for them to use their abilities. As soon as they have, then you look for your E to get in. Use your E to dodge their skill shots, and then just all in them. You are gonna win like 9 out of 10 of them if you do it right. Right here, I am gonna be looking to help out. Right here, I think Karthus is gonna run this way. We're actually gonna make sure that we utilize this. Okay, he's not going in there. Fair enough. So I was just kind of playing an assassin there, looking for an in. We can just get so much damage on this dude. Next time he steps forward, we could go for a flash into an E. We can just, again, wait 30 seconds when then we have our hex tech, or if he just kind of overextends. All right, so we'll go ahead and take this. I can push the turret here, but actually we should have someone to go up and defend this. But we can also split push because we have Rift. So I think going for the push here might just be the right call. So I'm going to push as much as I can as well. Again, I think maybe somebody should take care of this Garen. Might have to be me because I don't think my team will. I'm going to keep pushing. If I can go down here and we win this engage, then we can actually get at least an inhib. So I'm gonna be going over the edge here. I see that there are not a lot of people. 4 seconds till I have my E. All right, you know what? This is getting a little too shaky. So I'm backing back out. All right. I'm gonna go up here. And we're just gonna make sure that we get some CS. There we go. All right. But yeah, as you're playing the mid to late game, then what you want to be doing with Ekko is actually once your bot lane moves into the river or into the mid lane, then you want to be starting to go side lanes. If you're running with TP, and depending on whether or not your top lane is running TP, then you kind of want to decide lane based on that. So if your top laner has TP, then you want to be going for the opposite side of him, then let him control which side lane you're taking. But if he doesn't and you do, then what you want to be doing is that you want to go the furthest away from the next neutral objective, meaning that if the Drake is the next objective, then you want to be going top side so that you can TP Drake. If you don't have TP ready, of course, then go for the closest side lane. All right, so let's just get this. So that's generally what you want to be doing. In terms of fighting and late game, then you want to play around objectives. Ekko is a really, really good team fighter because of his insanely big AoE stun, he's insanely bursty damage, then he is a really strong team fighter. The way you want to be team fighting on Ekko is that you want to play him like an assassin, meaning that you actually want to be looking to kill their squishies, meaning their ADC, their mid laner, etc. And you want to try and assassinate them. So you want to be looking for either a flank, or you want to do like a proto belt or your hextech rocket belt into them. So you basically use that and follow up by your E, or your E follow up by that. So basically that is the way you want to be doing things. You can utilize something like the rocket belt auto attack reset. If you can get close enough, then that's really good for helping with some extra burst. But generally speaking, just getting to the back line, putting down a good W that stuns several targets can very easily win your team a whole fight, just because of the massive AoE that it brings. And make sure that you use the fact that if you throw your W behind you like this, and this one, and you then use your ult, then even though you don't land in the parallel convergence, then it actually stuns just if you fly through. All right, so right here, I feel like my best objective was first of all to try and peel for my ADC. I'm going to be putting down this so he has a safety zone. Okay, he's not going to use it though, but my idea was creating a safety zone for him, or a safety net that he could run through. Okay, so right here, he has been doing a pretty decent job. We are going to be able to definitely just finish this. I went a little over aggressive at the end there, I gotta admit, but whatever. So I do think Karthus can probably kill me in a 1v1 right now, especially seeing as he is pretty, like, he's pretty strong. He deals a good chunk of damage. I'm gonna go top. I can push this turret out completely free because they have 4 people that have been dead. There's probably like about 20 seconds at least till somebody will be here. So we should be able to very easily just poke this down a little bit and hopefully get a big portion of this turret. The only one I want to be a little scared of right now is I want to keep an eye out for their Hecarim. I don't know where he is, and he could be here fairly quickly. So based on that, I'm actually just going to back out. I'm going to be buying our Lich Bane, which is going to be a huge item for us. All right, so let's very quickly get this one. We'll get ourselves an hourglass, and we'll actually just start moving back into lane. But yeah, in terms of this late game fighting and late game gameplay on Ekko, then what you really want to be looking for is you want to be looking to shut down the squishies, play it assassin style. And if you're not able to get to them, then your best second option is to either stun as many targets as humanly possible, or try and peel a little bit for your ADC until you see an opportunity opening or presenting itself where you can get to their backline. You can very easily shut people down. Also, you can utilize your once you get your hourglass or your stopwatch, then you can use that. You can jump in. You can actually do like rocket belt or flash, rocket belt, the E jump to your target, do as much damage you can, then instantly hourglass, and then as soon as the hourglass ends, then you can click your ult, and you will actually do your ult right on top of yourself because of the duration of the hourglass, allowing your mirror to kind of catch up to you. And this is something, especially at lower elos, that people do not at all notice. I'm gonna be using my ult here. Right here, you can see if we can do it. Okay, no, that was actually terrible. They moved out very quickly, but still, we are gonna be able to hopefully turn this fight around really nicely. But this was definitely not my profit. I'm gonna be dead to that Karthus ult, because who shouldn't be able to cast after they're dead, right? It's the best thing ever. No, that is actually one thing that or one champ that I'm not a really big fan of. That's actually I'm not a big fan of stuff that can happen after a champion has already died. I think it's kind of weird. It's not a mechanic that I'm particularly big fan of. But quite honestly, like, I have been playing this game pretty terrible, but I think that despite that, I feel like things are actually kind of coming across in terms of what you can do on this champion and the potential of it. But yeah, in terms of the different phase of the game, then early game, really want to be looking for like level 2. You can duel most people because you have such a good power spike. There are champs that you of course do need to be very careful against, but if you go in with your EQ, get off your passive hit with the 3 stacks, then you do a serious amount of damage, especially if you're running ignite. That's really going to be able to help you out. If you're playing more team focused, and especially as you're becoming better and better at Ekko, then playing with TP can become much stronger. And you also see a lot of pro players actually just running TP on him. It is a really good tool. All right, so I'm gonna hurry down here. Seems like things are really messing up right now. Our team is actually doing pretty decently. We are getting very hard carried right now, which is of course very nice. All right, so right here, let's push this in. Okay, so let's kind of look at the team and what we want to be doing. So in this game, then we want to be shutting down their Kai'Sa, we want to be shutting down their Karthus, and we want to be shutting down their Pyke. That is our 3 targets. Looking at them right now, then probably going for Kai'Sa will be the best target. Karthus, shutting him down early doesn't mean the world unless he's in a poor position where he can't use his passive or his damage once he's dead. So if he's in a really poor spot, then killing Karthus can be really good for us, because that'll only allow him to, or only give him his ult as a tool. And shutting down Pyke is just really good, mostly because his ult is ridiculous. So definitely something that we want to watch out for. But this has been a very weird game for me. I've not been playing this very well at all. I've actually been playing this very terribly. But I hope that you guys can kind of look past that and kind of try to look for the information in it regardless. Like, this is my first game of the day. I'm kind of just, I don't know, zoning half out on this. But I think the overall idea is there behind what you should be doing on Ekko. But yeah, some of the issues, or not issues necessarily, with Ekko is that he's of course a champ that is semi-squishy. He's difficult to learn. He has a very high skill ceiling. You could say that's both a good and a bad. High skill ceiling means that you're probably always going to have fun playing him because you can always improve. But it's also going to make it that much harder to actually perform consistently good on him. His CC is fairly hard to land. In terms of his W, you really have to kind of get the feel for it. But you can very often use bushes and other things, like cast it while you're in a bush, because it's actually gonna make it much harder for the enemy to go ahead and dodge it. Right there, we're looking for that Karthus. Not my ideal target, but he was the only target that I could reach in a good fashion. And MipZ is literally just killing all of them. We should be able to just straight up finish the game right here. But your parallel convergence, try and use kind of hidden stuff, or try and use what you say, try and use bushes, etc. when you cast it, because this is actually going to allow you to kind of hide your intent. And if they don't have vision, then pretty often you can actually just have a control ward here, run down in your bush, and you can actually assassinate the laner you're playing against, because he's going to go down, try and ward it up, and you can literally just put your W right where he's kind of walking from, and then like there's no way he can dodge that stun, and it's just going to be absolutely free. We're just going to go for the finish here. I'm not going to be trying to do anything else. It's really nice finishing it off. But yeah, I hope this kind of made sense. I know this was in no way the greatest game. This is not a game where I carried today, and I know this is kind of weird for a guide, but I think things kind of came across in that early game. You want to think about what you're playing against. If you're playing against someone that you straight up just can beat, of course, go for that. If you're playing against something that pokes you or is quite difficult for you, then you have the option of looking for level 2 engages if you know that you beat them there. If not, then what you want to be looking for is you want to be looking for their cooldown. So meaning that whenever they shoot out something that has a high cooldown, then utilize that, and that's kind of your in to go for an EQ, hit them and run out, so you get the passive proc, and you can just keep continuously doing this. Or every time they've used their heavy or their long cooldown, you go for that very short poke, and that's actually a way of winning against harder matchups. Then of course try and work together with your jungler. This can really help out. And if you have lane prio, meaning that you can shove the lane, then try and look for roams if you're playing against something that's playing very defensively. Like the general rule in mid lane is, if you're playing against something you can beat, snowball that, just go for it. If you're playing against something that you can't really beat, but you have lane prio that you can shove the lane, then look for roams. And if you're just in a really terrible position, then you're just gonna have to try and farm on the turret and do your best. That's kind of the 3 overall things you want to be looking for. And when you're playing the defensive one, you want to be trying to make your jungle come in and help you, because that means you're shoved under the turret, and it should hopefully be pretty easy for him to find a gank. But yeah, I hope this kind of made sense. Mid to late game, you want to be rotating side lanes. I know we didn't do it in this game, but simply because our Jhin never really went into mid lane. But you want to be rotating to side lane. You want to let your top laner decide which lane he's in. He should be deciding depending on whether or not he has TP. If he doesn't, then you need to decide where to go, and hopefully he adapts. I hope that kind of makes sense. And team fighting wise, you want to go for the squishies. You want to try and shut them down, look for flanks. Otherwise, use the insane mobility you have to reach the target. If you by no means can get to them, then use your W to kind of peel off or to stun as many targets as humanly possible, and try and use your Q also to slow down, help peel for your ADC until you find kind of an in to hit their backline. So that's kind of the overall strategy for that. Also in the mid to late game, you can look for people kind of rotating around the map. So when they're going between side lanes, then you are kind of an assassin. You're very bursty, so you can actually go into a bush and just kind of wait for somebody to walk past. If you know he's up there, and you know as soon as he's killed that wave, he's gonna go mid lane, then you can actually place yourself in a bush for a second with a control ward or something, and literally just really quickly assassinate them there. That's also a very valid thing to do on Ekko. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know this was in no means a perfect game, and I played this very, very terribly, but I think it was a fun game. And I think that more importantly, what I said in the game was pretty decent. So I'm gonna go ahead and upload it. I know some people might sit out there, what the hell, dude, why are you doing a guide when you're freaking dying all the time, or when you're not doing that well? And well, honestly, it's because I enjoyed this. I think the message came across, even though the visual of it did not. And sometimes you just gotta take what you get. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. And yeah, if you're not already joined, then make sure to go down below, click that subscribe button, join into our awesome community. It's been insane seeing the amount of growth. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to all of you out there. And yeah, if you want to see me live, then go to twitch.tv/MipZ_live. I stream every single Friday. But yeah, with that said, I don't actually have anything else left for you guys. As always, stay awesome, have fun, and take it easy, guys.